evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lamar Viking Diamond for tonight's 6A freshman matchup between the Mansfield Tigers and your Lamar Vikings. Starting lineups for today's game. First for the visiting Mansfield Tigers. Batting first at second base, number 8, Kobe Reeves. Batting second at third base, number 9, A.J. Perez. Batting third, number 17, Nathan Resta. Batting fourth at shortstop, number 1, Carter Hilburn. Batting fifth in center field, number 13, Colton Sane. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 6, Lathan Dingus. Batting seventh at catcher, number 12, Sawyer Stewart. Batting eighth in left field, number 21, Graham Hughes. Batting ninth in right field, number 10, Austin Mitchell. The starting pitcher, number 5, Dylan Trevetti. Starting lineup for your Lamar Vikings tonight. Batting first at catcher, number 10, David Frawley. Frawley at catcher. Batting second in center field, number 11, Adrian Pulsifer. Pulsifer in center. Batting third, shortstop, number 13, Harrison Griffith. Griffith at short. Batting fourth, number 21, your starting pitcher, Merritt J. J on the mound. Batting fifth at first base, number 19, Jake Esker. Esker at first. Batting sixth in right field, number 17, Aiden Howerton. Howerton at right. Batting seventh at third base, number 20, Javi Fernandez. Fernandez at third. Batting eighth in left field, number 9, Brandon Harris. Harris in left. And batting ninth, number 5, second baseman, Andrew Thompson. Thompson at second. Once again, your starting battery for the Vikings. Behind the plate at catcher, number 10, David Frawley. Frawley behind the plate. And on the mound, your starting pitcher, number 21, Merritt J. J is on the mound for the Vikings. Baseball fans, if you know of someone that can't make it to the game tonight and they would like to watch and listen in, they can do so by going to lamarnation.com, lamarnation.com, and click on live stream. Let anyone in the world know that they can watch and listen to the game live. Leading off for the Tigers, second baseman, number 8, Kobe Reeves. Well, welcome baseball fans to this broadcast of Freshman Viking Baseball, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Booster Club. Got the Mansfield Tigers over here visiting us at the Lamar Viking Diamond. Merritt J on the mound for the Vikings. First pitch inside for ball 1.
Bill, I guess it's up to the freshman tonight.
There's a bouncing ball to, ends up to shortstop. High throw. It's caught by Jake Esker, but that'll be an infield single for the leadoff batter. Yeah, the varsity team lost pretty handily over there at Mansfield. Our JV just lost 15-0, and now the freshmen are going to try to make something happen.
See if the freshman.
The next batter is third baseman, number 9, A.J. Perez.
Make something of it tonight.
First pitch in there for strike 1. One of those all-important first pitch strikes for Merritt J. on the mound today. Oh, Frawley tries to throw down a second, but that one gets away from him and goes out into right center field. I don't know what happened there, but not a good throw. And I don't know if it got away from him or he wasn't set squared off, but that
ball just got away from him, Bill.
And the runner now at third base, 1 ball and 1 strike. Not right now. Maybe a hot dog and look at something I can eat slowly like that. Okay, no, thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. There's a swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch just inside for ball 3. The count goes full.
Bill, what do you guess the game time temperature is?
I'm going to say about 62 degrees.
Yeah, I'm going to find out.
Might be down to 50s. There's ball 4, so there's a walk after the leadoff single.
Temperature's dropped considerably since the start of the JV game tonight.
The next batter, first baseman number 17, Nathan Aresta.
Bill, you almost got it. It's 61.
So 1 degree off. That's not bad.
Not bad.
I can also tell you what time it is by judging the position of the sun in the sky right now. I'm going to guess it's about 9:48.
Perfect.
Frawley throws over to third to get that runner back. Nice throw to keep that runner honest. That runner being Colby Reeves, the leadoff batter.
That first pitch is strike.
I was watching the throw down like I unfortunately do. We'll see what he shows us here in a minute. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. So runners at second and third. Nobody out for the Tigers here in the top of the first inning. High fly ball goes out to right center field. The center fielder, Pulsifer, can't pull it in. That's going to go back to the wall. 1 run scores and 2 runs score. Scoring are Reeves and Perez.
That ball kept carrying, Bill. The wind is blowing out to right center. And Pulsifer tracked it, but he just couldn't track it down. Did get a glove on it.
Number 1, shortstop Carter Hilburn. So Carter Hilburn to come up to the plate. Now the Tigers already lead 2-0. Nobody out, 1 on at third. First pitch misses for ball 1.
Infield playing in. See if they can stop the runner at third from scoring.
High fly ball that's going foul. Frawley gives chase, but it goes into the stands.
That's a rooftop foul ball.
Almost. They count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the count goes to 3-1. The Vikings got to be careful. Try not to let this one get away from them early.
Get out of hand early here.
And there's ball 4 for the second walk of the inning. The next batter is number 13, center fielder Colton Sane. There's a strike. Frawley kind of pump fakes the throw at second, see if he could draw the runner in from third. Nothing doing. So now no balls and 1 strike, and runners at second and third with nobody out.
They had the position where they had runners at first and third, and that's always a big steal position for any team.
Count now 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bill, we got some pitchers warming up in the Viking bullpen.
See if I can get a...
At 18.
That's Maxwell Yoakum, number 18, warming up. Now the count goes even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Coach Burkham probably worried about the same thing you just mentioned about this game getting out of hand early on.
And he rings him up for strike 3. Well, there's a good strikeout from Merritt J here in the first inning.
Good sign there.
The next batter is designated hitter number 6, Lathan Dingus. First pitch to Dingus misses, 1 ball and no strike to count. Still 2 runners on at second and third with 1 out. Oh, good.
That's been a problem with varsity pitching.
2-0 pitch, swung on a miss, 2 balls and 1 strike. Yadi Pagan, the varsity manager, joined us in here for a little bit, and he's letting us know that Coach Burkham has some guys warming up in the bullpen, just trying to keep their arms warm and loose since the temperature's dropping, trying to look out for the health of the players, and I think that's a very commendable, great thing to do. Batter shows bunt, pulls back, pitches high, and the count goes 3 balls and 1 strike.
So what we thought was some early warm-up is just
possibly just keeping guys kind of ready and warm and
keeping them loose in this really cold weather tonight.
That pitch misses for ball 4. That's a 3rd walk of the inning, and that will load the bases.
Walks will hurt you.
That'll bring up number 12.
The next batter is the catcher, number 12, Sawyer Stewart.
So key early situation, Bill, here. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2 runs already in for the Tigers. Let's see if Jay can
There's a first pitch strike.
limit the damage here.
Gets ahead of that batter.
That's fuel for a left-handed hitter.
And the 0-1 pitch, Frawley does a good job of blocking that pitch in the dirt. Keeps the ball in front and to the side of him, so nobody can advance, especially the runner at third. No chance to score. That's one thing I've got to say. I've seen Frawley, of course, over the years. He's gotten a lot better this year at blocking and being laterally mobile and keeping those balls in front like that.
Yeah, he does do a good job of keeping those balls in front of him.
Reaches out, snags that one. Now the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the bases loaded with only 1 out. There's a strike, so now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, this would be a good time for Merritt to get his 2nd strikeout of the inning with the bases loaded, and that would set us up with 2 outs. That one in the dirt. Frawley does a good job of keeping that one handy. And the count goes full at 3-2.
Looks like Merritt tried to overpitch that one, really tried to get something on that fastball. See if we can make a good pitch here on a 3-2, bases loaded.
Fouled away back over the visitor stand, so the count stays full at 3-2. Pretty good pitch and a good job of protecting the plate by the batter, Sawyer Stewart. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and there's that strikeout we were looking for. That was very important timing to get that strikeout.
Got him chasing on the outside on that one for the 2nd out of the inning.
The batter's number 21 left fielder, Graham Hughes.
Pitch by Jay to the last batter was outside. Really good pitch, got him chasing, got the batter chasing.
That one grazed his shirt sleeve, so that will bring a run in on the hit by a pitch.
That's unfortunate.
Yep, just barely snagged him. Scoring is number 17, Resta. The next batter is number 10, right fielder Austin Mitchell. Well, the base is still loaded, still 2 outs now. 3 runs in. There's a first pitch ball. I thought that was going to fall into the strike zone. Just barely high, I guess.
This looked a little high, yeah.
And that pitch catches the strike zone, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, if Merritt can get out of this with the bases loaded and say only 3 runs in, that's not too bad considering. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Good
Actually, he might have tipped it, but anyway, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good fastball by Jay there.
Pretty pitch.
Right down the middle.
That one's fouled back to the net. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. High fly ball that's going to go into shallow center field. And the center fielder, Adrian Pulsifer, stuttered over that. We have Adrians, Andrews, whatever. And that's the 3rd out. It's 3-0. We'll be back for the bottom of the 1st. Leading off for the Vikings in the bottom of the 1st inning, it's your catcher, number 10, David Frawley. First pitch in there to Frawley for strike 1. Starting catcher tonight. Typically been hitting later in the order for the Vikings. Coach Burkham has mixed things up a little bit. Frawley leading off. He's had a pretty good on-base percentage this season, somewhere in the 600 range, so about 2/3 of the time getting on base.
Oh,
that one just missed him. I thought that was going to get his left arm, but he turned away just in time. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, that pitch just missed somewhere. I thought that was a pretty pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Looked like a strike, but
I would have swung at that one, but that's why I'm up here and not down there. And
take it.
Part of the reason, anyway.
The other thing is Frawley's got some speed, so I'm sure Coach Burkham was thinking that as well.
That one jammed him inside a little bit. He swung and missed, and that evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I think he's seen that, and maybe that's why he's put Frawley earlier in the lineup, at least tonight, to see what happens if he can get him on base as the leadoff.
He's been aggressive on the base paths, so if he does get on, he'll look to take a base.
That pitch is high, goes full count, 3-2 now. One thing Frawley is good at over the years, he's good at working the count, and he's not afraid to take a walk. He just wants to get on base any way he can.
That's the way to do it.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. The next batter for the Vikings, center fielder number 11, Adrian Pulsifer. Well, let's see if Pulsifer can get things started off offensively here for the Vikings. That pitch is outside, ball 1. Looks like we have our Viking fan out in Crowley, Donna, tuned in again tonight.
Hello, Donna.
One-0 pitch on its way. Swung on and fouled straight back to the net. And the count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. There's 1 out. 11's all the way across the top of the scoreboard. Number 11 at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Nobody on. The Tigers lead 3-0. Vikings batting for the first time here in the bottom of the first inning. And that pitch drops low for ball 2. Time called. Pitcher steps off the mound, steps back up. Pulsifer back in the box. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled. The count goes even at 2-2. Well, Al, this is one of those pitchers that sometimes is very deliberate, not fast-paced.
He's not.
I was talking to the coach from Mansfield as I was getting the lineup and getting some names straightened out there. I think he said they're going to try to get at least an hour and a half in tonight. So the 2-2 pitch on its way. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Got a nice little breaking ball, it looked like.
I was going to say, good off-speed pitch there.
Yeah. The next batter for the Vikings, shortstop, number 13, Harrison Griffith.
You know, Bill is so cold that even Coach Burkham has his winter weather gear on.
He has a sweatshirt on and he has some long sleeves, doesn't he?
He's got long pants on. Usually he's t-shirt and shorts.
Well, now the catcher for the Tigers going out to talk to the pitcher.
They are deliberate, Bill. Battery for the Tigers. Probably just want to make sure they get their signs straight early in the game.
That's a good thing to do. Finally, the first pitch to Griffith misses outside for ball 1. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The Vikings trail 3-0. 1 ball and 1 strike.
See if Griffin can get it going here.
Griffith looks at that ball outside in the dirt. Now the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. And the next pitch, and that catches the strike zone, evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It looks like he has good control, which in freshman games is a key thing.
There's a pitch out in the dirt. Catcher having to be a little bit mobile. No one on base, so not too urgent, but he moves over and keeps that ball in arm's reach, and the count goes full for Harrison Griffith. Shortstop tonight for the Vikings. And he gets a piece of that one, fouls it away. He had to reach out a little bit, but protecting the plate. Fouls it over to the visitors' dugout. Full count. Payoff pitch on its way. Looper in the short right center field. That's going to be a base hit. It's actually going to roll to the fence. That's going to be a leadoff double. No, he's going to go for 3. Better get down. He's safe.
Got it.
Triple for Harrison Griffith. Number 21, your pitcher, Merritt J.
Hit for Griffith, getting past the center field, around a line drive in the gap, went all the way to the fence. And Griffith, good speed, got to third base.
Well, at first I thought, okay, it's a single. It's almost like a little Texas leader. And then it got kind of past the center fielder just enough. Oh, he's going to have a stand-up double. And then he rolls to the fence. He's got a double triple.
And that last pitch, Bill, good stop by the catcher. Almost got by him way inside.
So 1 ball and no strikes to Merritt J. 2 outs, 1 on at third. See if we can get a run brought in here. That pitch catches the outside edge of the corner for the left-handed batter Merritt J. Merritt's one of these kids I've known all through elementary school and junior high. A fine young man. Great kid.
Bad cleanup tonight.
Yep. And that pitch is going to miss, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
On that last pitch, the catcher set up inside, but the ball was way outside.
Yeah, interesting situation there. And that pitch is going to miss inside in the dirt, kind of. Now the count goes to 3 and 1 to Merritt.
So here's count for Jay here.
Looking to see if he can find his way onto first base. And there's a base hit right over the shortstop. RBI stand-up single for Merritt J. Scores number 13, Harrison Griffith.
The Vikings come back and get a run on
Number 19, first baseman Jake Esker.
Vikings answer that 3-1 first of the Mansfield Tigers with 1 run here and now a run around first with 2 outs.
And you know what I like seeing there, Al? The pitcher, Merritt J., helped himself out with the RBI single.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So not only did we get a run back, but the pitcher had a part in that. So that's a good thing.
Pitcher helps himself out.
Definitely so.
Give him a little confidence going on the mound the next inning.
One ball and no strikes to Jake Esker, the first baseman. That pitch finds its way into the strike zone. The count goes to 1-1. Fly ball out to left field. Looks to be playable. Makes a turn.
It's caught, and that's 3 outs.
But the Vikings pick one up. It's 3-1. We'll be back for the top of the second. coming into the top of the second inning. Merritt J gets a first pitch strike on the first batter. He's the leadoff, number 8, Colby Reeves. And that pitch in the dirt, Frawley keeps it in front of him. 1 ball and 1 strike now.
So the Vikings answer back with 1 in the bottom of the first. Going 3-1 here in the top of the second.
Honestly, I thought Jay was going to pull one out. I mean, I know it doesn't look like he can, but the wind was blowing in his favor. If he would have just pulled it, that ball would have been gone. Or at least over by the fence. Base of the fence, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you turn on the ball with the right amount of speed in your waist and the right amount of speed with your hands, you could probably...
And the 3-1 pitch gets away from him inside. There's a leadoff walk issued to the leadoff batter.
Number 9 would be coming up now.
Frawley goes out to talk to Merrick, maybe just kind of calm him down, reassure him, settle him down a little bit. Don't let this stuff get you nervous. Don't let it get away from you and so on.
Is that how many walks for Jay now, Bill? Is that the 4th walk of the game?
Yes, it is. He had 3 in the first, plus a hit batsman, and now a walk here. The next batter is number 9, A.J. Perez.
Well, hopefully he can just settle down here as the game
Perez,
wears on.
go ahead.
Hopefully he can just settle down now as the game wears on.
Perez comes up to his for his second plate appearance tonight. He got a walk back in the first, scored a run. Runner goes. That's going to be a foul ball. And a first pitch strike for Merritt J. And count starts off, no balls and 1 strike. Nobody out, runner on first, taking about a 1.5 2-step lead. Merritt throws over. Jake Escar, the first baseman, takes the throw. Puts the reassuring tag just to make sure the guy doesn't step off the bag, but he's safe.
Runner was on the move. That was a hit and run.
Oh, and there's a hit batsman. That's the second one of the night.
Now bring up number 17.
The next batter is number 17, Nathan Resta. And now with no outs, there's 2 on here in the top of the second. Double play ball out would be something good to see here, wouldn't it?
That would be nice.
Maybe even a triple play.
Time called by the batter. Merritt taking plenty of his time between pitches.
The rain delay in Mansfield took a lot of time. It took an hour and 20 minutes, I think. It was long because lightning kept on striking.
And that first pitch to this batter in the dirt for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes.
But the first half hour of that rain delay, it was fun. And then when we were told to stop goofing around, it just made me sad. But what we did during the rain delay in Mansfield, for like the first half hour, Mansfield was in their dugout and we were in ours, and we pretty much had a dance-off to whatever the announcer was playing. It was funny. Jack got in on it.
Here's a 1-0 pitch, swung on, ground ball to the third baseman, Javi Fernandez. Steps on third for the force out there, makes a bad throw to first, though. That'll be an error that's going to send runners around, including one that's going to score. Scoring is number 9, A.J. Perez. And number 8, Colby Reeves.
Unfortunate series there. He fielded it cleanly, but just made a...
Oh, wait, hold on. No, just 1 run. I'm sorry. Correction, only 1 run scores. 8 was out. 9 scores. That was a G5 force that got number 8.
And number 1 hits a soft dribble to short, and it was
So the shortstop, Harrison Griffith picks that up, but it was hit deep at the edge of the dirt, edge of the outfield. No play to make, so it'll be an infield single for number 1.
Griffith made the good play there just by holding on to the ball instead of making a wild, trying to make a almost impossible throw. He just held on to it. Held the runner at first.
Golly, those two guys. And now defensive woes at the freshman level for tonight. Frawley made a throw, but it looked like the second baseman and the shortstop crossed each other there.
Yeah, he just missed the throw and it went into center field. Runner scored.
That was, I think, number 17 that scored, if I have my notes correct. Things are moving pretty quickly here. No balls and 1 strike, I believe, is what the umpire showed. It's either 1 or 2. I think there's only been 1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss now. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned it, Bill. Defensive woes continue. JV had their share of them in our game earlier tonight. Now it looks like the freshman team is having some of the same issues.
So here comes the 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Frawley blocks it. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 2 runs in this inning for the Tigers. It's 5-1. Not a chance of a traditional double play here with only 1 runner on at third. Only 1 out. Tips that one. Oh, and Frawley caught it for the strikeout.
Got it for the strikeout.
The next batter is number 6, Lathan Dingus. So nice job, nice pitch, number 1 by Merrick J, and then a nice job of Frawley to catch that foul tip to complete the strikeout. Now, did he call that a ball or a strike?
It's way outside,
Okay,
so
that's what I thought.
it looked like a ball.
I just thought I saw the umpire's arm move a little bit. Frawley blocks that one that's in the dirt, keeps it in front of him. And the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. Two outs, a runner at third. Here's the pitch. That just missed. Apparently inside a little bit.
What were you saying about defensive woes?
So 3 balls and no strikes. That pitch makes it in the strike zone, and the count goes to 3-1.
There's a strike by Jay.
That'd be a good time to get this batter out before the hemorrhaging continues. That one is over his back. It's ball 4. Frawley didn't have much of a chance, I don't think, to catch that ball. Chases it back to the wall. Merrick J covers, but the run scores. Scoring is number 1, Hilburton.
Coach Burkham asking for an explanation there, I think. Ball went over the head of the batter to the screen. Runner scored.
I don't know if Burkham's asking if it touched the bat.
If it hit him or if it touched the bat.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think the ball just cleanly went through, but Burkham making sure.
So the ball went behind the runner.
And
it
so
could have been.
the field umpire said I couldn't hear anything. He was kind of touching his ears. He didn't hear any kind of contact on the bat. But you know, I like that about Burkham. He'll go out there and he'll fight for his team. So next batter, number 12, Sawyer Stewart. Sawyer Stewart comes up to the plate for the second time in the game. He struck out swinging back in the first. First pitch to him outside for ball 1. Late night of baseball tonight, Al. Delayed.
Double header.
First game delayed an hour and a half. That pitch is high and inside for a ball. Frawley makes a throw. Not in time.
Close play.
It was close. Harrison Griffith came over from shortstop to make that catch, but not quite in time. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch misses, and the count goes to 3-0. Nobody warming up in the bullpen.
As Yadi mentioned, there's been players periodically warming up out there, so it's hard to tell whether they're actually warming up to pitch or just warming up to stay loose.
There's a called strike. The batter, Stewart, thought that was going to be ball 4. He kind of takes a few steps towards first. The umpire calls him back, says no. It's 3-1.
Outside corner. Now it's 3-2 with a foul tip to the backstop.
That pitch swung on, foul back to the wall at the backstop. Count goes full at 3-2. There's a swing and a miss, a strikeout to retire the side. It's 6-1. We'll be back for the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Vikings in the bottom of the second inning, number 17, Aiden Howerton. Well, welcome back to the broadcast. We're going into the bottom of the second inning. The Vikings trail 6-1. Aiden Howerton, the number 6 hitter for the Vikings in the order, comes up to lead off, which is the first pitch outside for ball 1. Well, we picked up 1 run in the bottom of the first. They got 3 more, just like they got 3 in the first inning here in the top of the second. So it's 6-1. That pitch outside for ball 2. Gets away from the catcher, but no one on base, so no harm, no foul there.
Yeah, unfortunately, they picked up 3 more. So the Vikings got a 5-run deficit.
There's a swing and a miss by Howerton. Pitch looked a little bit low. Looked like he was swinging a 9-iron there.
Yeah.
And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
A few 9-irons being swung at the Masters this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That pitch low. The count goes to 3-1. He held back on that one.
Jordan Spieth got off to a good start yesterday, but had a little bit of difficulty today. But he's still
in the hunt.
I believe, yeah, tied for third or tied for fourth.
Swing and a miss, strike two, count goes full. And a payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. The next batter is number 20, Javi Fernandez. First pitch to Fernandez, fouls off over to Coach Burkham, who makes a little play.
Good play by Coach Burkham. One-handed grab.
Yeah, clean. I think he threw it back to the pitcher pretty well, too. Umpire goes out to clean off home plate, make sure he's got a good view of it. Javi Fernandez steps back into the box. No balls and one strike after that foul ball. One out, nobody on, bottom of the second inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and miss. Fernandez giving that swing everything he had. And the count goes to no balls and two strikes.
Coach Burkham just celebrating his 50th birthday.
Earlier this month, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, just the other day.
Just
I think
the
on
other
the
day.
5th. What's today? It was yesterday.
Turned 50 yesterday.
Javi thought he might want a piece of that one, but he doesn't swing and looks at strike three.
Doesn't look a day over 49, does he?
The next batter for the Vikings, left fielder, number 9, Brandon Harris. Well, Brandon has one of the more interesting walk-up songs from the SpongeBob show, Goofy Goofball or something to that effect. Goofy Goober. Brandon's a fun kid to talk with. That pitch misses. It's one ball and no strikes.
He's hilarious.
Every time I've seen Brandon, he has a smile on his face.
Until he's out.
A deliberate pitcher on the mound here for the Tigers. Plenty of time between pitches. He misses there, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Trevidia works deliberately. Now the catcher coming out to talk to him.
Trying to calm the nerves.
So nobody on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. It was 2 outs before we got our base runner last inning, I think, Al. So maybe Harris can get us started off here with a 2-out rally.
Harris can get it going here.
Yeah, it was 2 outs.
Swings and misses a little bit late there. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Windy tonight. Cold. It's about 80 earlier today.
And the 2-1 pitch on its way inside. Brandon takes a little kind of step back, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. See if he can work this count to get on base either with a hit or a walk. Swings at that one. It's going to go foul over toward the visitors' dugout. That rooftop foul ball on the dugout reminds us to remind you RJ Construction is the leader in roof repairs and installation in the Metroplex. Call Trent at RJ Construction, a proud sponsor of Lamar Viking Baseball. So the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes, or stays at 3 and 2 after the foul ball. And the pitch, swung on, a bouncing ball to the third baseman, picked up, throws across a diamond, a nice stretch by the first baseman, Nathan Resta, to make the third out. 3 up, 3 down for the Vikings. We'll be back for the third. Leading off for the Tigers in the top of the third inning, number 21, Graham Hughes. Well, so Graham Hughes is going to lead off for the Tigers in the top of the third inning. He flew out to center field back to end the first inning. There's a foul ball that goes over to the soccer practice field. On the count, no balls and 1 strike. So Armand Mohajer, now the pitcher for the Vikings. Interesting delivery kind of style there, but it's in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes.
Bit of a sidearm delivery.
Yeah, it's kind of almost, but not completely, would you say?
Yeah, not full. Maybe about 3/4.
There's a foul ball that's going to go right back over to the soccer field again, so count stays at no balls and 2 strikes.
It's a tough night for Merritt J. Struggled with his control throughout.
Yeah, he had some walks, a couple of hit batsmen.
That wind just blew stuff out of the table. That's why I laughed.
That pitch is high for ball 1, but he'll shake that off. He'll recover.
Yep.
He's a good athlete.
There's next time.
Can I add something?
So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hughes steps back into the plate after some new baseballs tossed out to the umpire from Coach Burkham. And now time called just as Mohajer was getting into his windup. And the batter wasn't in the box that long, but he calls time pretty quickly, and the umpire granted it. And now that breeze is starting to blow in just a little bit, and the temperature continues to drop here. That pitch inside, count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, during our rain delay, one of the concessionaires figured we're going to have a 40-degree temperature drop in 12 hours here.
Yeah, well, there's a chance of a light freeze in the area tomorrow morning. There's a foul ball back to the net right in front of the visitor stands. Count stays even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Batter staying alive here. Mohajer making a lot of good pitches.
Yep. I think this guy has hit at least 4 foul balls. At least 3, I think 4. Here's the next pitch.
Yeah.
Pop fly ball. Esker making a play for it at first. He gets turned around, can't make the play. Probably should have let the second baseman, Thompson, call him off since he had to get turned around, even though it was right behind him. I guess we'll call that a single since it drops in. The next batter is number 10, Austin Mitchell.
Again, it's another one of these nights where every ball that gets up in the air, the wind is running havoc on everything that's getting high uphill.
First pitch strike there. Yeah, you know, and it's easy for us to say, oh, maybe he should have turned that, or maybe someone should have called, but yeah, that ball gets up there and the wind is just swirling.
And it's turning it.
Yeah. There's a little dribbler that goes to the shortstop, picks it up, throws across. Nice stretch by Esker to get the out, and that'll go down as a 6-3. Nice play by Harrison Griffith to field that. He charged it a little bit, and Jake Esker makes a beautiful stretch for the first out of the inning.
Good play on both ends there.
The next batter is number 3, Zane Reynolds. So Reynolds coming in the place of the leadoff, it looks like.
First pitch low for ball 1.
And the 1-0 pitch, that's going to miss low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out and 1 on. We're in the top of the third inning. The Tigers lead the Vikings 6-1. And that pitch catches the corner of the strike zone, and the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. low for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Mohajer moving a little bit faster, but hopefully he's not moving too fast to where he's going to have some control issues between pitches there.
Yep.
And that pitch misses for ball 4, and there's his first walk of the game. The next batter is number 18, Cade Berryman. So the Tigers putting some subs in already. Placing their leadoff and second hitters. That pitch is going to miss, and it's ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out and 2 on.
Mohajer now in a little bit of a wild streak. They're on 4 consecutive balls.
This will be a strike.
Yep.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
You predicted it.
I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop at 1. At perfection, yeah. And 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out.
Always a good strategy. Quit while you're ahead, right? Yep.
That pitch gets away from Frawley. He's going to not be able to make any throw, and the runners advance to second and third. Inside pitch, just Frawley didn't bring that one in, so he has to chase it back. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch just inside. The count goes to 3 and 1.
Infield now comes in for the Vikings with runners at second and third.
They might try a safety squeeze right here. Not sure.
There's a foul ball back to the net, and the count goes full. Well, that helps out. Now there's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he can't bunt. He can, but if it goes foul, he's out.
Umpire getting a little bit impatient with the Tigers batters. They had 2 guys out in the on-deck circle, which you're not supposed to do, and they were just talking it up. Meanwhile, no one came to pick up the foul ball, which is the responsibility of the on-deck batter. That one gets away and off the glove of Frawley, and that's going to score a run. That was high and outside. Frawley reached out for it, jumps up some, but he gets past him.
Runner
scoring is number 21, Graham Hughes.
So, Bill, the control issues for the Viking pitchers continues. It's kind of a continuing since for the whole night.
The batter is number 7, Reed Rios.
First pitch is outside for a ball.
So they continue to basically replace their batting order with subs. 3 in a row now. There's a nice pitch. And swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. One out, runners on the corners for the Tigers. They lead 7-1 now. Mohajer pitches, it goes outside. The count goes to 2 and 1.
Mohajer now looking like he's trying to place it a little bit rather than just letting it go.
Yep, good observation, Al.
He's trying to be perfect, but he needs to just pump his own.
There's a nice pitch. Swung and miss. Frawley pump fakes towards second, but the runner at third not falling for that. And so now runners in second, third, but the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kind of an excuse me defensive swing. It puts the ball over toward the wall in front of the visitor stands. Count stays at 2 and 2.
Now with runners at second and third, with no double play, the Vikings bring the infield in again.
and rings him up for strike 3. That was an important out to get, like you said, when there's no chance for the double play. So now there are 2 outs. The batter's number 1, Carter Hilburn.
First pitch is in for a strike.
No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs now with 2 on. Boy, if Mohajer can get this guy out, that'll control the damage here in the top of the 3rd. That pitch misses, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So a single and 2 walks, but a grounder to the shortstop and a strikeout have helped. And now the count goes to 2-1. Yeah, Mohajer kind of all over the place here. Like you said, out looks like he's trying to place it sometimes.
Yeah.
And then he's missing. There's a swing and a foul ball back to the net in front of the visitor stands. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I guess the word is
outs.
pressing after the couple of runners got on. He started to press a little bit. Looked like to me, Mill.
And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Frawley squeezes it, and that'll retire the side. 1 run scored in the bottom of the 3rd, or top of the 3rd inning on 1 hit. 1 left on base. It's now 7-1. Leading off for the Vikings in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's number 5, Andrew Thompson. Well, welcome back to the broadcast. We're going into the bottom of the 3rd inning, and then all of a sudden we're ready to get started. And now they switch a player, the shortstop. It looks like number 3 going in. Andrew Thompson, the number 9 hitter for the Vikings, leading off here in the bottom of the third. The Vikings trail 7-1. Oh, first pitch to him. I thought that was going to bean him.
Didn't hit him?
Somehow it looked like it went right through him, but
yeah, it's behind him. It looked like. And at his feet.
I'll start off with a 1-0 count. Thompson will. That pitch misses outside. Thompson thought about swinging, but pulled back just in time. And the count goes to 2-0. See if the Vikings can get something started offensively here in the bottom of the third. Looks like he's trying to overpower that pitch, and it's high. And the count goes to 3-0. Pitch inside, so a 4-pitch walk. The next batter for the Vikings, number 10, David Frawley. So leadoff walk for Thompson gets us started offensively.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Vikings there.
Let's see if Frawley can do something here. He looks at the first pitch inside. There's basically ball 5. Ball 1 to Frawley, 1 ball and no strikes, but the 5th ball in a row issued by Stevenson.
Stevenson struggling early on with his control here.
Frawley struck out swinging back in the first. Wow, and no one ready to run. I don't know why we didn't have our runner going there, because that ball went way back toward the wall. The count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for the Vikings.
That one almost, it does graze Frawley.
So
I thought it was a dead ball.
Evidently not. No, the umpires look like the umpires are going to talk, and it should have been a dead ball. There should be runners at first and second.
The only time they could have advanced is if the throw back to the pitcher had gone wild, but the catcher not realizing, I guess, that it was a hit by pitch. Now Burkham's going to argue that they advanced on the
Frawley's coming back to the plate. Evidently it wasn't a hit by a pitch.
I guess not.
Got a lot of confusion going on right now.
This is very confusing because I thought Frawley got hit by the pitch. The count was 3 balls. And then he took off running.
I think we've stumbled onto some kind of kooky mystery here. Let's look around.
So I'm assuming the count here is 3-1.
Is the count 3 balls and 1 strike? 3 balls and no strikes. Thank you. So the count is 3 balls and no strikes.
But the runner advanced to third. I still don't know how that happened.
Because it was not a dead ball. Now he gets to go.
He's coming home. He's safe. He's safe. Thompson saw an opportunity and he scored.
Scoring on the play for the Vikings, number 5, Andrew Thompson. So, the interesting stuff continues. Frawley got the walk. He goes to first, moving pretty quickly. The throw back to the pitcher, I guess, went
over his head into center field.
Thompson paying attention and the coach paying attention. They send him to score. Frawley makes a turn to second, but realizes he's not going to advance further. But Very interesting turn of events there.
Bottom line is the Vikings are getting some momentum here going into the bottom of the third.
Definitely so. Second run scoring.
With a pitcher, it looks like he's obviously struggling, Stevenson. So we'll see where this goes.
So Adrian Pulsifer comes up to the plate, and I just, with all this, missed his walk-up song. Trying to keep up with what's going on. That pitch is inside. Frawley's way off the bag, but he gets back because the throw was way off.
That's an Olympic swimming right there. Michael Phelps.
Frawley pretty lucky in that one. He was almost hung out to dry.
He's about halfway to second base.
Now he's going. There's a dinker just over the pitcher. He can't pick it up. That's going to go into right field. Frawley goes to third. That'll be a single for Pulsifer, and Frawley's on third.
So good play by the Vikings, a hit and run there, and Pulsifer hits it right into the gap where the second baseman would have been, but was going to cover second on the steal by
Number 13, Harrison Griffith. So now nobody out, runners on the corners. Frawley showing some of that speed you talked about earlier, Al. And now let's see if he can do something, maybe a base hit or something here, even a sacrifice fly to get another run in. Pitch is outside for ball one.
I don't think Stevenson has thrown a strike yet.
I think you're correct. I think the first two batters, well, no, we had the single, so that counts as a strike in his pitch count. But yeah, 8 balls and 1 strike.
There we go.
And there's the strike. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. But 9 balls and 2 strikes, I believe.
Viking batters would be well advised to lay off a few pitches here.
Yeah. Make him pitch to you. Runner goes from first to third. That's Pulsifer. I mean, first to second. Sorry, that's Pulsifer. Frawley thought about advancing to home, but the catcher kept the ball in arm's reach. So now there's nobody out. There's runners at second and third for the Vikings. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Harrison Griffith. That pitch inside for ball 3.
So momentum continues here for the Vikings.
Number 4, Chance Stevenson, struggling for the Tigers on the mound. He just came in this inning. That pitch catches the outside corner. The count goes full at 3-2. Plenty of interesting things happening here in the bottom of the third inning. There's a pitch of a fly ball out to left field. Frawley's ready to tag. He's going to go, and there's not going to be a play at the plate. Now the throw to second. The runner, Pulsifer, he goes to third on a bad throw. He's going to go home. 2 runs will score for the Vikings. And the bizarreness continues. Scoring for the Vikings, David Frawley and Adrian Pulsifer.
So now the score's 7-4, 1 out.
The next batter for the Vikings, number 1, Armand Mohiser.
So base paths are now clear. Vikings cut the lead now to 7-4. Still only 1 out.
That went down as an F7 against number 13. 2 more runs score.
So the aggressiveness by the Vikings on the base pass pays off there, Bill.
Now we're going to have a visit to the mound by the coach from the Tigers.
That's 2 mound visits this inning. I think he has to pull them.
We'll be back after the pitcher gets a chance to warm up. Zane Reynolds comes into play, or to pitch, inherits a 2-0 count. First pitch from him was a ball for 3-0. Now a swing and a miss by Mohajer. The count goes to 3-1. I think that was a strike anyway, so a good one to swing at. Good pitch to get a strike in when you got a 3-0 count. That pitch is going to miss, and that's ball 4. Courtesy runner at first base for the Vikings, number 22, Curtis Cox. The batter, number 19, Jake Esker. I want to say hello again to Sushant Sharma.
Down the line.
That's a fair ball.
Extra bases.
All the way rolling out to the fence or close to it. Curtis Cox comes around third. He's going to have to run fast. There's not going to be a play at the plate. Curtis Cox runs a wind sprint from first all the way around. Esker goes to third on the throw-in. So a double by Esker.
Bill, that hit down the line.
RBI double by Jake Esker. Scores Curtis Cox. The next batter, number 17, Aiden Howerton.
Rapid turn of events. 4-run inning, and now the score is 7-5. Still in favor of the Tigers, but it's comeback season, boys. Let's do this.
So Jake Esker gets the double with a beautiful shot. Just stayed fair. First pitch to Howerton is ball 1.
Vikings with a furious rally here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner on third. Still one out.
Jake Esker at third. Curtis Cox just scored on that RBI double. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Was that the first pitch? I think, is it 1-1? Can't remember. Foul ball. Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But the Vikings putting 4 up so far here in the bottom of the third. Getting closer, 7-5. Trailing by 2.
Oh.
That pitch hits him.
Did hit him.
Number 20, Javi Fernandez.
Y'all saw that, right? He did the dab while he was running first base. That's my boy.
So now runners at the corners for the Vikings, and only 1 out still.
Only 1 out.
That first pitch misses. Javi thought about swinging at that one, but held back. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Struggles continue here for the Tiger pitchers with the control of this inning.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Well inside. Ball 2. Javi kind of turned around, ready to take that one in the back if he needed to, but it just misses him. 2 balls and no strikes.
Vikings have had to avoid a lot of pitches this inning, Bill.
Yes, they have.
There's a lot of dancing going on.
Dancing acrobatics. Yeah, exactly. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Mr. Viking.
Time called by the catcher here. Fernandez steps out, takes another look at the signals from Coach Burkham at third. Steps back in. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Runners on the corners for the Vikings. They trail 7-5. 4 of these runs coming in this inning. Here's the pitch. Well, that was a wicked little curveball of sorts. Kind of almost
there.
riding a wave or something. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hadn't seen that pitch yet.
Nope. That's a new one. Javi ready to get a hold of something here if he can. Keep this rally going. There's a ground ball that's going to go foul. That's going to be scooped up by Coach Burkham. Count stays even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3.
That pitch high and tight. Fernandez swung around.
Number 9, Brandon Harris. So Harris comes up to the plate for his second time tonight. He grounded out to the third baseman back in the second inning to end that inning. See if he can do something to keep the rally going. Runners on the corners. Swings and misses at a pitch that was either outside or on the outside edge. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
I wonder if the Vikings will look to do the double steal here, Bill. First and third, 2 out.
That'd be a kind of a fun play to see. Wouldn't be out of character for the way things have gone tonight. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Well, I'll bet on this pitch we got people moving. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Catcher setting up a little bit towards outside. Pitch is going to miss. It goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitcher trying to see if he can, this is Zane Reynolds, seeing if he can get Harris to chase something there, but it didn't happen. And now the 1-2 pitch. On its way. Harris looked to swing, held back, but it was a called strike 3 to end the inning. But not before the Vikings get 4. It's 7-5. We'll be back. that's going to do it for this game. The Vikings had a nice comeback rally in the bottom of the third inning. They got 4 runs. So instead of it being like 7-1, brought it close, 7-5, pretty respectable.
Yeah.
But we had some more innings to go. Rain-shortened game, kind of, if you will. Might have had something else. Al, what do you think?
Yeah, and in that last inning, the Vikings still had some runners on with 1 out, but the pitcher for the Tigers came back and got 2 strikeouts there to end the game. But a good comeback for the Vikings after being down early. Some control issues for Merritt J. But good ball game.
Yep, overall they kind of came back from some stuff, and especially in that bottom of the third inning. That's going to wrap it up. The Vikings come up short, 7-5. I'm Bill Frawley.
I'm Al Quammen.
Saying VF indeed. The next broadcast should be a week from tonight with the varsity game.